Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video we are going to go over the difference between IPSEC and SSL. So I have a PowerPoint, yes, another PowerPoint, but I'm also going to be configuring. Like I said before, I'm not big on PowerPoint. I'm not good creating PowerPoints, but sometimes it's good just to go over a PowerPoint before going over a configuration, so you guys can understand better, right? So IPSEC versus SSL, the battle of VPNs. And let's start. Well, what is IPSEC, guys? What is IPSEC? Well, IPSEC stands for the Internet Protocol Security, aka IPSEC. It's a secure network protocol suite that authenticates and encrypts data packets in internet, and it's a lot more than that. It has two important roles: encryption, authentication, integrity, and also anti-replay. Yes. Again, IPSEC can work in two modes, transport mode and tunnel mode, like I said on my video before. And it could be used either in IPv1 and IPv2. Cisco, I don't think Cisco lets people implement IPv1 anymore. I think that's like being disabled or removed from all the routers. Hopefully it is removed from all the routers. Hopefully nobody's using IPv1 because it's not secure at all anymore. And that's why we're going to be configuring IPSEC with IPv2 in this video. What is the bad about IPSEC? Well, I came up with some of them. One is that whenever you connect with an IPSEC connection, IPSEC is to give the remote computer direct access to the central network, making it a full member. So that is something bad that IPSEC does. It also depends how you configure that IPSEC, right? Also, remote users have access to any files, storage locations, programs, printers, and backups exactly as if they were in the office, right? Because it is a IPSEC connection. When you connect to the network, you're inside the network, you have access to all that. You have access to all that. Something else is you need a software installed for it to work. If you are from an end user perspective, you need to have either AnyConnect or another VPN software installed in your computer. And if you don't have admin rights, you won't be able to use IPSEC. Another thing that's bad is IPSEC requires a third party. Like I said before, it requires a third party client software. And it's also more complicated and expensive to set up and maintain, because then you need to maintain the software. You need to maintain a lot more than just a SSL VPN connection, right? And also IPSEC is well known for the high CPU usage. Therefore, you need to have a really expensive and good router. If you're going to have a site-to-site IPSEC or anything running IPSEC, it requires a lot of CPU usage. The good about IPSEC, right? At least there's good stuff about IPSEC. And also, if you guys know anything else, you can leave a comment on this video. I just came out with this. I just did it on the fly, just whatever I remember from my brain. One is that it can be used for site-to-site and remote access VPNs. This is really good. So you can either implement the site-to-site and remote access. For SSL, you're only able to do a remote access VPN. You cannot do a site-to-site. If you're able to do it, I want to say you do it. It also has the ability to use, you can use a digital certificate and also a preacher key, or just use both with iVersion 2. It provides confidentiality, integrity, anti-replay, and authentication. Okay, so now this is going to be about SSL. So for the SSL, it stands for Secure Sockets Layer. It's IPSEC's major rival, has a VPN protocol. SSL gives user more specific access than IPSEC. Rather than becoming a full member of the network, remote team members are granted access to particular applications. SSL protocol was replaced by a successor technology, TLS, which nobody uses that term really. Only if you know about, only if you're really talking about TLS instead of SSL, you are going to refer to TLS. And in 2015, it was replaced by TLS in 2015, but the terms are interchangeable, like I said, and in common parlance in SSL, it's still widely used. What is it bad about SSL? Well, it cannot be used for site to site, like I said. You need to buy a certificate. It is possible to get a free SSL certificate, but this is not recommended for a lot of reasons. One would be that the CA is not going to be a trusted CA by the browser. I bet you that. And mobile configuration is not easy because at first, SSL certificates were primarily intended just for websites, for your computer security, and not for mobile devices. That's why it's a little bit harder to do it for mobile devices. The good. Well, SSL server is supported by the remote user's browser, so you don't need to install any application like IPSEC. No need of a third-party application, like I said, even though we are going to be using one, but you don't have to. I should probably implement all of them. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. And it can be accessed from anywhere, like I said, because you can just use it from the browser. And it's easier to set up than IPSEC. A lot easier. I'm going to show you that. And I will leave this for my PowerPoint presentation. Thank you guys for watching that presentation. Now let's go ahead and go to the good stuff. Configuring. Stuff that I like. So I'm going to first set up the site-to-site VPN connection between R3 and R2. So first, let's go ahead and open the console. And I'm going to start with router 3. Over here. Here are my... as you can see, I have everything configured. All the interfaces, I set up some static routes and all that good stuff. So let's start with this. And we're also going to be, the site-to-site implementation is going to be with IKE version 2. Therefore, the first thing they need to do is configure a crypto IPv2 keyring. We are going to be calling this, let's just call it keyring. We need to add the peer, which is going to be our router 2. This one right here. The address of it is 30.1.1.1. The authentication or picture key local CCNP. Or actually, let's just call it the local. It's going to be R3. Picture key remote is going to be R2. Exit. After that is done, we need to go ahead and configure the IPv2 profile. And we are going to be calling this IPv2 profile. And inside right here, we need to do, first you want to match the identity, or you can do, it doesn't really need to be the first command, but you can do it, this command at any point. You just have to configure. Identity of remote is going to be 30.1.1.1. Identity of the local address is 30.1.1.2. It's this IP address right here. Then you want to do authentication. What are we going to be using? Authentication for the local is going to be using a picture key, and authentication for the remote is also going to be using a picture key. Then you want to add the keyring local, and we name that keyring. Let's see if I miss anything. We did the match, identity, authentication, and we added the keyring. So we are done with that. Exit. Now we need to go ahead and configure the crypto IPSEC transport set. Call this tset ESP AES 256 ESP SHA. It's going to use an HMAC. Then we do the crypto to configure the IPSEC profile. IPSEC profile. Here we need to set the transport set, which we name tset, and we also need to set the IPv2 profile, which we call IPSEC profile. IPSEC, or actually we name that IPv2 profile. There we go. Now let's go ahead and configure the tunnel interface 0. IP address is going to be 10.10.10.1. Then we need to do the tunnel mode IPSEC over IPv4 tunnel source gigabit/2. This one right here. Then we need to do the tunnel destination, which is 30.1.1.1. Good. After that is done, we need to do the tunnel protection IPsec profile, and we need to attach that IPsec profile in here. Good. Exit. Then we can do a router EIGRP 10. No auto summary. Network 192.168.3.0 255, just to add this network right here. And we also need to add the network of the tunnel interface. Good. Now what we're going to be doing, let's go do show run crypto section crypto, and we're just going to copy and paste everything, and I'm going to be opening LeafPad because I don't want to just go ahead and configure everything, since we have to configure a lot of stuff. We're just going to replace this with this. This is going to be this. Local is R2, R3. Remote is going to be 2. Local is 1. And the rest is the same. Then let's go to the show run so we can get the configuration of the tunnel interface. This one right here. We're just going to configure tunnel, just tunnel 1. The IP address is 2. Gigabit 02 is the same. Destination is 2. And let's go ahead and configure EIGRP. So for this one, we just need to replace this with 2, because it's for this, we're going to get this local interface. Let's go ahead and copy everything. Let's go ahead into router 2. And let's go ahead and paste all of it. No errors. EIGRP should come up. ISAC amp is on. EIGRP is on. Show crypto IPv2 SA. You see the IPv2 SA is up and running, so that's good. It is working. If you do show IP route, you can see that we have a route via the tunnel interface. So everything was configured correctly. Show crypto IPsec SA. You can see it right here. It is working correctly. The peer 30.1.1.2. Local 30.1.1.1. So it is working correctly. So if we want to do a ping 192.168.3.1, we're going to repeat it 100 times. If we do show crypto IPsec SA, you can see that it went up by 100. So we configure that IPsec connection so you guys could see how it is done, and it was done. So now let's just go ahead and I'm going to pause this video for a little bit because I gotta do something. I'll be right back. Okay, and we got done that site-to-site tunnel, and we got that out of the way. We configured that IPsec site-to-site tunnel with IKE version 2. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be configuring SSL clientless VPN connection. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. And I'm going to be doing that from the ASDM. So let's go ahead and bring that bad boy up. Here we go. So let's go ahead and connect to it. And you're going to see how faster it is to configure SSL clientless VPN connection from the ASCM instead of a site-to-site VPN, which takes a lot of more CPU, a lot of more configuration, a lot of more maintenance than just a clientless SSL remote connection. And before I do that, I need to configure that IP address on this Windows device. So let's go ahead and do that since I haven't done that. Also, looks like I don't have any connect configure, or I do. Let me go ahead and see. Cisco, yeah, I do. That's good. Let's go ahead and configure that IP address. This needs to be that 3.2 and that 3.1. Good, good, good. And after that has been configured, we should see if you're able to do a ping to 192.168.2.1. Good. And also that 20.1. And I cannot ping 20.1, and that's because I did not configure a static route from router 3. So let's go ahead and do that. Config T, IP route 220.1.1.0, 245.245.245.0, send it to 20.1.1.1. Right? That should, I believe that, oops, that's not what it is. I'm sorry for that. Let's go ahead and remove that. It is because I don't have a static route from the ASA. So the ASA, you are able to get to the ASA, but the ASA is not allowed to get to us. So let's go ahead and configure that. The way that you do that, you need to do a IP route. Actually, not IP route, route to the outside zone, send it to 20.1.1.2. There we go. Let's go ahead and negate this one and just add this one. Good. So now we should be able to ping 20.1.1.1, and there it is. Good. So now we are able to ping that. That's good. Put the Windows device down, refresh, save it. So now we have a connection. So let's go ahead and set up that site-to-site VPN, and you guys are going to see how easy it is. Clientless VPN connection. Next, connection profile is going to be called SSL to the outside interface. No certificates, or even you can do a self-signed digital certificate. We're not going to do that. We are going to create a new user. Asker Cisco. Add it. Next. Group policy, SSL policy. Bookmarks. We're going to add a bookmark so we can get to this website over here. So let's go ahead and add a new one. Bookmarks. That's how we're going to call it. Add it a URL get or post method. Website. This is going to go to 192.168.1.1 or that 1.2 because it's this website over here. Good. Add it. Next. And there we go. We are done. Finish. So you see how easy it was to set up that site-to-site or that SSL VPN connection instead of doing that site-to-site IPSEC with aggregation 2. It took a long time, but using the SSL was a lot easier. So let's go ahead and go to the Windows device and see if we are able to access the ASA, which is HTTPS 20.1.1.1. There we go. It is telling me that it is not secure. because we're now using a trusted certificate. We are going to go into details, go into the page, and here we go. SSL VPN service. We are going to log in, see if it works. And login failed, and I forgot to do something. Let's go ahead and go to configuration, remote access VPN. We are going to clientless SSL VPN, group policies, and it is there. Let's go ahead and save it. Let's go ahead and go into connection profiles. Connection profiles enable. Into the outside. Let's go ahead and try to log in again. Asker, password for Cisco. Still not letting me connect to it. Interesting. Outside. Group policy. Asker. Let's see. SSL clientless, SSL Asker, good. Local users. Let's go ahead and change the password to Cisco. Cisco. See if that lets me on. Apply. Save it. Let's verify the connection profile. SSL VPN. Policy. Enable clientless SSL VPN protocol. We're using the local users. No. Yes. This is a VPN. We don't need to do that. So it is enable. Group policies. Let's verify that the group policy is good. SSL clientless VPN. Let's go ahead and reload this bad boy. Let's go ahead and try to log in Asker Cisco. And there we go. Now it is working. For some reason, now it is working. And now let's go ahead and go to the website. And there we go. We were able to access that website. So that's how you set up the SSL clientless VPN connection. And also, like I said on my PowerPoint, you are also able to configure a IPSEC or remote access VPN with IPSEC and IPSEC version 2. So let's go ahead and let's actually do a AnyConnect VPN wizard. And this one's going to be called IPSEC from to the outside. You're just going to enable IPSEC. No digital certificates. Oh, we need to do one. Let's go ahead and do a self-sign one. Self-sign. Let's go ahead and do cancel. Let's go ahead and delete it. Add a new one. Generate self-sign. Good. Apply it. Next. The image. Oh, we do need to add an image, and I don't think I have one. I do not. But if you go through this and you add your AnyConnect profile in there, it should be working. But it's not letting me do it. Nope. Let's just go ahead and add that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and click next. We are going to add another one. We are going to call IPSEC Cisco, and add it. Next. Local. That's good. Next. We need to add a pool. IPSEC pool. It's going to start at 192.168.1.10 all the way to 192.168.1.13/24. And this is the IP address that is going to be assigned to the Windows device once we connect to it. You're not going to do that. Finish. Good. Let's go ahead and see if IPSEC is enabled. Yep, it is enabled. IPSEC enable. This one should be SSL enable. Apply it, save it, looking good. So now let's go ahead and go into the group policies. We have IPSEC and it's not assigned. Is it assigned to? Let's go ahead and cancel. Assign the local user, IPSEC, apply it. So that's good. Save it. Now we should be able to connect to this ASA via remote access using IPSEC. And for us to be able to do that, we need to have a client, like I said before. So if you go over here and do a IP config to see my IP address, you're going to see that this is my IP address. But once I connect to it, I should get the IP address of 192.168.1.10. So let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see if that works. Let's go ahead and open any connect. We are going to connect to 20.1.1.1. Connect. And like I said, you saw that for SSL, we were able to connect to it because we just use the browser. But if you're going to use IPSEC, you do need to use a third-party software like the Cisco AnyConnect Secure Mobility Client. But for SSL, you don't need that. Cisco, see if that lets me in. It's not letting me in. As you can see, it doesn't let me in. Let's go ahead and connect to it again. Connect anyway. IPSEC, Cisco, and it doesn't let me connect right now. That's because I need to get the AnyConnect profile, and let's see if we're able to just edit the one that we have over here. Let's go to this PC, C drive, view. We need to go hidden files, program data, Cisco, AnyConnect profile, and we do not have any profiles in here. But what we're going to be doing is, let's go ahead and power this off, and I'm going to add the one that I'm able to do it. I need to add my other Windows device, which is this one right here. Start this bad boy up. And it's not letting me delete this. Let's go ahead and stop it. Delete this. And it's now giving me a error. Thank you, GNS3. Let's go ahead and start this up. See what happens if I start it up. Let's go ahead and go into VMware. You can see that my Windows device is up and running, but this one doesn't even delete. Doesn't let me delete this link. I hate that. Oh, there we go. It was deleted. Good. Actually, I'm just going to leave the host name, and we are just going to connect to it. It's giving me an error saying that port's already in use. Okay, GNS3, you are winning today, but you are not going to win. Let's go ahead and go to router 3. It looks like it froze. Everything is frozen right now. Let's go ahead and close everything. Let's try it again. Let's go ahead and open router 3. It doesn't let me open router 3. Okay, so GNS3 wins. So I'm just gonna have to leave this
video over here. In another video, I'm just going to show you the implementation. Look at that, generates 3 wins. And that's why I like if and G. And I did not use if and G for this video because I do not have a Windows device or any server that I'm able to do that any Connect client software. So this is it for this video, guys. Sorry for that. And if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, share this video with your mom, your dad, your dog, your cat, your wife, your daughter, your son, with anybody. And also, you should go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.